The Cowboys finished last season with a tough loss in the playoffs.
It's good, and the Packers win the game. And the Cowboys season has come to an end.
The loss left this young team with the bitter taste of playoff defeat. But now, that taste has turned into a hunger.
The way we have came together, I feel like it's better than it's ever been before.
I'm motivated by that because I like our approach.
As they prepare to open the season, questions still linger.
He's a practicer in that film room. None of that the outside world is going through his head.
Despite the obstacles, the Cowboys ride on.
I think we're ready to go.
Prescott looking around, throws it deep down the left side. Des Bryant, touchdown.
The season debut of Cowboys Game Day starts now on CBS 11.
And oh, what a beautiful day at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. The sun has risen on another Cowboys season, the 58th in franchise history, and it's a landmark year, the 20th season of Cowboys Game Day, right here on CBS 11. Welcome to Cowboys Game Day, 9 hours before kickoff. The Cowboys and New York Giants at the stadium at 7:30 tonight. I'm Bill Jones, along with the Hall of Famer, the Manster, Randy White, and Keith Russell, as we get you set for kickoff tonight. And Randy, first off, welcome back to another season of Cowboys Game Day.
It's exciting, Bill. I look forward to this every year, and you know, I started getting my little things you get in your stomach here the last couple days.
Butterflies? You get butterflies? Even for Cowboys Game Day,
For Cowboys Game Day, yeah, that's it.
You know, my stomach is rumbling as well. It's rumbling with excitement, knowing that I'm going to base this season on this mantra. From Canton, Ohio to Minneapolis. From Canton, where Jerry Jones went into the Hall of Fame, to Minneapolis, site of Super Bowl 52. That's my mantra this year, Randy and Bill. With all the distractions, they're over. They're gone. It's now time to play football and make a giant statement starting tonight.
And speaking of the Giants, you love it when you face the Giants in the season opener, Randy?
Well, the Giants, you know, they're the division rival. They beat us twice last year. Now we get them on Sunday night to open the season. What a good way to start the season off beating the Giants on Sunday Night Football.
All right, well, it's been a long preseason for the Cowboys. Exactly 50 days ago when the team plane landed in Oxnard, California. A preseason that took the Cowboys to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, as Keith alluded to, a place Randy is very familiar with. Jerry has his bust now. Meanwhile, Zeke was in and out of courtrooms, and as it turns out, he's playing tonight and maybe the whole season. And the preseason wraps up with a $2.3 million raised for Harvey victims at a Cowboys telethon. And now, finally, it's football time.
I think I can speak for the team. When we found out we were going to have an extra preseason game, there was a little bit of a mentality like, you know, this is going to be a long training camp. And, you know, the last 10, 12 days, all our thoughts and work has been on the Giants. And so this team is itching to get out there and play.
I guess I have a little butterflies, I mean, for the most part throughout the week, but by the time game comes around, I'm prepared, I'm ready to go, and those butterflies are gone.
The way we have came together, I feel like it's better than it's ever been before. We're excited. That's what I'm ready to see. I'm ready to see us as a group.
And Cowboys fans excited too. Of course, it was back on Tuesday. We learned that Ezekiel Elliott would be playing in this game tonight. And then on Friday, he got the temporary restraining order. We'll see what the future holds. But it looks like, for the time being anyway, Ezekiel Elliott will be in that backfield for the Cowboys. How important is it, Randy, specifically for tonight's game?
Well, I think it's very important. Zeke's an intricate part of this football team. I talked to a couple people this morning at the donut shop, and they told me we need Zeke for anywhere from catching the football to running the football to blocking on blitzes. So we need Zeke.
Some knowledgeable folks at the coffee shop, the donut shop this morning.
They knew their Cowboy football.
I'm going to say it wasn't a glazed donut. It was a donut with sprinkles, because that's what Zeke gives this football team, a donut with sprinkles. You can sprinkle in 21 points every time number 21 touches the football. He's one of the few guys in the NFL who every time he touches the football can go to the house. And I think that's what makes this Cowboys offense dominant. And I think Zeke being back on the field, you could hear, Bill, when that ruling came down, a giant sigh of relief, a giant sigh of relief.
You know, 1,631 yards rushing in his rookie season. Had 32 catches out of the backfield, but one of the things, assuming that Zeke is able to play all season, I think we'll see an increase of his receptions out of the backfield. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, and it adds a whole new dimension to this offense.
Well, and tonight that could be very important, Bill, because that Giant defensive front is very tough. So maybe we fake the ball to him. He gets out there in the flat, and they hit him. He makes some big plays running the football.
And, of course, the key to all this is that offensive line up front. And there are a couple of new faces on that offensive line. Of course, Ronald Leary, the left guard, left in free agency. We'll see him next week when the Cowboys play in Denver. The right tackle, Doug Free, retires. And so La'el Collins starts at right tackle. We got a glimpse of him in the preseason. What did you see from La'el Collins, Randy, in the preseason?
Well, I mean, he's a tough player. He works hard. He's very good in there with his techniques. The thing that you worry about when you get new offensive linemen, there's a cohesiveness that the offensive linemen have. They just have to know each other, and we'll have to see if they've been able to develop that closeness in that short time of training camp this year.
Which is probably one of the reasons that the Pro Bowlers, Travis Frederick and Zach Martin, played a little bit more than what the other starters did on offense, was to get in sync with their replacements alongside them.
The one thing La'el Collins told me, he said, keep in mind, playing right tackle is different for me. I'm left-handed. So, Randy, you know better than anyone hand position and hand placement. He said, I'm going to have to jab people with that right hand off the start. I'm used to jabbing people with that left hand. But don't worry. Once I get either hand on them, they're not going anywhere. The words of La'el Collins.
And that'll come quick for him because you'll develop that change in stances. I've had to do that before, and you just, as an athlete, that'll come to him very quickly, very quickly.
And, of course, the left guard, Chaz Green, is the guy that the Cowboys hope wins that starting spot. He got the reps in practice. As long as he can stay healthy, Chaz Green should be out there starting at left guard. Otherwise, it's the veteran Jonathan Cooper who got a lot of reps during the preseason. All right, Dak Prescott coming off a Rookie of the Year season. What can he do for an encore in his second year? I'm here to say it will not be a sophomore slump, and primarily due to the fact of the work ethic that this guy has.
That's exactly right, Bill. I mean, you know, we always say, you know, through knowledge comes confidence. And this guy studies. He does all the right things. He prepares himself for the football game. And I look for him to be, you know, just improve as a quarterback and get better. And I think tonight, one of the things he brings to the table is these Giants in the running game up front. You know, you got to concern yourself with Zeke. Now, when Zach goes back for the pass, he can take off and run the football. So the things that he can do offensively put a lot of pressure on the defensive football team.
And all you needed to see was his limited play in the preseason to know he's not going to have a sophomore slump, Bill. You know, what's amazing is the coaches say his arm strength has gotten better. So imagine that. His arm strength has gotten better.
And I think that has a lot to do with his preparation, not only what he's done in the weight room, but also he works tirelessly on his footwork and so forth. And I think you see that. You saw that even in one of the games last year against Philadelphia. Midseason, he did not have a good game. You could see his improvement even as the season went on. Now, one of the things about Dak Prescott from last year and for this entire Cowboys team, they only lost 3 regular season games, and 2 of them was against the Giants. So, Randy, the Giants had his number a little bit.
Well, the Giants had his number, but now we've got 2 games to look at on how the Giants attacked us and what they're doing to us. And so we'll be able to counter that tonight, I hope, and have a more success against that defensive front.
All right, and as far as the weapons for Dak Prescott, of course, you've got Des Bryant, you've got Jason Witten, you've got Cole Beasley. The list goes on and on, Terrence Williams. But it's going to be very interesting this year to see how many times Dak and Dez can hook up because it was around 50 times last year. I see improvement there this year.
Well, I think so. I think all the way around they're going to be better, and I think he's going to find the open receiver, and he's going to get the ball to Dez for those big plays as often as he can. And if they double up on Dez, he got a lot of weapons to throw to make plays. That Beasley, they can't cover him short.
A lot of people don't like to go back to that playoff loss against the Packers, but one of the silver linings in that playoff loss was the play of Des Bryant. Remember, he had a throwback game. He caught 2 touchdown passes in that playoff loss to Green Bay at AT&T Stadium. And this season, so far in the preseason, he looked like he and Dak were on the same page. In fact, Bill, Dak said Des is the most improved player on this entire team. Hard to believe.
And that raised a lot of eyebrows when he said that, but it's understandable from the standpoint that Des has been healthy throughout the offseason for the first time in a while. There's no contract dispute. There's none of that. Des seems to be in a very good place right now.
Well, Des is a great athlete, and I think he's learned to focus now. He's focused on becoming the best football player he can be and doing everything he can to help this football team win. And when he does that, he's just going to keep improving. Same thing with Dez. You know, he's getting so much knowledge of his experience, you know, and knowledge, his confidence level is way up here. So look to see some big, exciting things from Dez.
All right, we're just getting started. Coming up on Cowboys Game Day, the Manster tells us what the key is to stopping Eli Manning and the Giants offense. But first, time for our Frontier Communications trivia question. Cowboys tight end Jason Witten enters his 15th season with the Cowboys. That ties him with 3 other players for most seasons played in team history. Can you name the other 3? The answer after the break. Let's see, would the Manster be one of those 3? Would the Manster be one of those 3?
No. You, Randy.
BIOS by Frontier.
In our Frontier Communications trivia question, we told you Jason Witten entering his 15th season, now tied with 3 other players for most seasons played in team history. Did you know them? Well, the answer, Ed Too Tall Jones, Bill Bates, and Mark Tuinei.
To have that many yards over the years playing my position, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say there's a lot of other people that are part of that recipe. So many great players around me that help get an accomplishment like that.
Jason Witten just 17 yards away from surpassing Michael Irvin on the Cowboys' career yards receiving list, and the records just keep falling for number 82 for the Cowboys. Pretty amazing. Randy White, Jason Witten, now in his 15th year. This a guy who played 14 years with the Cowboys.
Wow, Jason Witten is a special football player, a special person. You know, sure to be a first ballot Hall of Famer when his name comes around, whenever he does decide he's going to retire. But what a great person and a great football player.
And you know, we always talk about his Cowboys records. Let's talk about where he stands with respect to the NFL list. In terms of all-time catches, this year he's going to pass Tim Brown, Chris Carter, and Marvin Harrison and move into 4th all-time in NFL catches. Not for a tight end, for anyone, leaving him behind only Jerry Rice, Tony Gonzalez, and Larry Fitzgerald, who's still playing. I mean, not to mention all the great stuff he does in the community. You can't say any more positive about Jason Witten.
And, you know, and the fact that he's only missed 1 game in 15 years is incredible.
That's a testimony, because I tell you what, you got to be tough. And he's taking some shots, catching that football and holding on to it. And sometimes you think he's not getting up, and he gets up. Heck, he runs down the field with his football helmet off and sticks his head in there to try and make the extra yard. So, you know, Jason Witten's a great one.
All right, up next, we head over to the defensive side of the football. How excited is Jalen Smith to make his NFL regular season debut? The Cowboys linebacker tells us next on Cowboys Game Day.
It's time for the Nissan On the Road Report. Shop ChooseNissan.com. It's time for the State Farm Most Valuable Possession.
And today we focus on Sean Lee. The Cowboys linebacker led the team with 174 tackles in 2016, including a club record 22 tackles, 17 solo against the Giants last December. Lee's game preparation and football instincts the key to his success. But there's another linebacker that all eyes will be on tonight.
Just stepping out on that field, you know, being able to warm up, being able to go through pregame warm-ups, and just to be able to, you know, to play the game that I love. You know, I forgot how fun it was. So it's exciting.
Cowboys Giants 7:30 tonight at AT&T Stadium, and welcome back to Cowboys Game Day. Bill Jones with the Manster, Randy White, and Keith Russell. Let's talk defense a little bit. Randy gets fired up to talk defense, of course, and specifically, how about Jalen Smith? He will be in the starting lineup at middle linebacker, and what a story coming back from that devastating knee injury in the Fiesta Bowl, about 18, 19 months ago.
Well, and the Cowboys drafted him in knowing he was a great player, would have been one of the top guys picked in the draft. I had the opportunity to meet him this offseason. What a great young man. And he said, well, He's wearing number 54.
That's right, he's got 54.
And he said, I'll take care of that number, your number, Randy. I said, no, that's not my number. That was Chuck Howley's number. I used it. Now it's your number. You use it. And he's hopefully he's going to bring a lot of success to number 54.
Yeah, a couple of 54s in that Ring of Honor. Of course, Chuck Howley, who is a Super Bowl MVP, and Randy White. And, that's a big standard to live up to.
Something else he has in common with Randy White. We know he does his signature swipe move after a great defensive play. Well, that's just like Randy when he breaks out that gold card. He just swipes that thing. That's just something else in common.
Well, he does it a lot better than me.
He's got more to swipe with.
He's got more to swipe with. That's right.
He's going to when he gets his next contract, too. And then how about Sean Lee? We mentioned that game against the Giants up there in December last year. That is the prototypical linebacker performance that you could ever see. 22 tackles in that game. He knew the plays better than the Giants offense did last year, I thought.
He did, and that's the way he prepares. That's the way he studies, and he gets out there on the football field. I'll go out and on the limb here, Bill. I could say if you had 53 guys that played and prepared like Sean Lee, you'd be in the Super Bowl every year. How about that?
Consummate professional, he says this year we are going to do one thing better, which is take the ball away and give it back to the offense. We're going to get off that football field.
Well, and to do that, they need help from everybody. And in the linebacker position, we mentioned Jalen Smith off the top there. I believe he'll start tonight's game. However, he's going to split reps with Justin Durant. Justin Durant was a key offseason signing because, of course, Anthony Hitchens has gone down with a knee injury for the first half of the season, probably. But when you look at the defensive line, Randy, the first-round draft pick, Taco Charlton, he's going to be in a rotation at defensive end. What does the defensive line need to do tonight?
Well, you know one thing about this defensive line, Coach Marinelli will have them ready to play, and they'll be platooning in and out, and they'll be going 100%. And they'll be trying what they need to do tonight. They need to contain that running game. Giants have tried to beef up a little in the running game, but it's really Eli Manning throwing that football and putting pressure on him, disrupting his time and not being able to throw the ball effectively. If they can do that, they'll have a great night tonight.
And will the real DeMarcus Lawrence please stand up? That's my only request tonight. Please, DeMarcus, bring your game.
And as far as the secondary goes, so many free agent defections in that secondary. Orlando Scandrick is the elder statesman of this defense, now named a team captain as well. But there's the secondary is a big question mark coming into this season.
Well, he's the oldest player out there on that defense. He's got to take over a little bit of a leadership role. But when you got young guys full of vim and vigor, and they're out there running around firing, you look for them to make big plays, and they think they're bulletproof. So I'm looking for some good things out of this defensive backs tonight.
We hear names, Awuzie, Jordan Lewis, Xavier Woods. Well, tonight, the nation hears those names as well, Bill.
Well, and the thing is, we haven't really seen those guys much in the preseason at all because of injuries in training camp. Awuzie, the second-round draft pick, Jordan Lewis, the third-round pick, and, of course, Xavier Woods, who plays at safety. As far as the Giants are concerned, there's so many question marks as far as Odell Beckham Jr. playing in this game tonight. He was on the team playing. Randy, Odell Beckham Jr. is playing in this game tonight. I don't care what they say.
It's Sunday night television, national audience, everybody in the world watching. Odell Beckham will be out there. He won't miss this opportunity, I'll guarantee you.
Dez said he talked to Odell this week. Maybe he told him to stay home.
Well, I don't think he's going to listen to it.
He didn't listen to him because he did make the flight, and he had a sprained ankle now 3 weeks ago, and so we'll see. We mentioned about Eli Manning, though, getting pressure on him, but it's so difficult getting pressure on Eli Manning because he gets the football out so quickly.
Well, he does. He get rid of the ball quick. And here we go. Here comes our defensive backfield and our linebackers. Got to be able to be in position and make some plays because, you don't have to worry about Eli Manning running the football. He's not going to hurt you running the football, so you can lay your ears back and take some chances and get after him.
And as far as the Giants' defense is concerned, they invested so much last year in free agency with Vernon. They got JPP. But Landon Collins, he made a real run to be the NFL defensive MVP last year with 5 picks.
He's a thumper. He's a thumper, and he takes the ball away. So the Cowboys receivers, they have to be courageous, Randy, when they go over that middle.
Well, they have to because, this kid's tough, man. He plays the game the way it's supposed to be played, but hopefully tonight he doesn't have a good night.
All right, we're still going strong here on Cowboys Game Day. Up next, though. It's prediction time. Do the Cowboys end their Super Bowl drought? I wonder what the Minster will predict. Next on Cowboys Game Day.
It's time for the Nissan Drive to Success. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
A look at the 2016 final NFC East standings. Oh, isn't that a thing of beauty? Sponsored by Nissan. 13-3 record for the Cowboys. Giants were 11-5. Redskins had a winning record, and the Eagles were at 7-9. It is the Cowboys and the Giants. By the way, this afternoon, 2 o'clock, the Rangers are playing another New York team, the Yankees. It's going to be very busy in the Arlington Entertainment District. Cowboys-Giants, 7:30 tonight. Final couple of minutes here of Cowboys Game Day. It's prediction time. A Cowboys season record. What will it be, Randy?
I'm going 11-5 this year.
Okay.
Win the East, get in the playoffs, and go to the Super Bowl.
Wow. Gave it all to us right there.
Give you all right off the bat.
I'm going 10-6 record for the Cowboys. They tie the Giants for first place, and they win the tiebreaker and go deep in the playoffs.
I'm going to go 13-3. I don't see a drop-off anywhere. I mean, maybe I'm, looking through rose-colored glasses, but I think the Cowboys are just as good, if not better than last year. I don't see a team beating them in the NFC or the NFC East. I see them going to the Super Bowl and facing the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, and so, Randy, you got them in the Super Bowl. Who are they playing in the Super Bowl?
Who cares, Bill? We don't care who they play. We just want them to go. We just want to get there.
Well, if you're going to get them in the Super Bowl, then might as well win the Super Bowl,
well, certainly
right?
They're going to win. That's not even an issue.
I got them falling to the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. But let's don't end this on a downer. All right, we've got the Texans and Jaguars here on CBS 11. The 50th year of NFL Today is coming up next.